Hello and welcome to the first episode of Keeping Sanity. Hope you're all having a good week, and to be fair, this feels a bit less intense than recording the introduction. However, as I mentioned there, I do have a plan for the episode, so I'm gonna try to keep it fairly short because the last thing I want to do is bore you. So let me know what's your stance on that. But yeah, for now, I think it's going to be better to keep it less of a random discussion. So now we can definitely get to the topic of the episode, which is going to be rest. And this needs a little introduction. As some may know, or actually everybody does, at this time, which at the time of the recording is May 11th, it is quarantine time, isolation time, coronavirus, and all that crazy stuff. But weirdly enough, I'm probably like one of the not many people who have been loving it from day one, introverted squad. And this has gotten me on a quite interesting path of self-discovery and all things motivation, productivity, and all the good stuff, and I have been quarantined for God knows how long. Let me guess. So it's been like 1.5 months. And really the idea of creating a podcast has never occurred to me this vividly because I expected myself to be delving somewhat deeper into the social media world and YouTube and blogging. But podcasting, even though I've been listening to podcasts forever, it has never really occurred to me that I can record a podcast. And the point where that idea occurred to me was at the time that we were recording our Zoom video would introduce the school that I'm studying in. If you want to know more about that, check out the link in the description to our YouTube channel with me and my friends. And this was May 1st when it really struck me that I want to do it. So it's been 10 days since. This is not very big of a procrastination, which I'm glad it is not. And really recording that video gave me such a huge boost of inspiration and happiness you cannot even imagine. I really did not think that social interaction would ever make me happy, but here we are. And wow, I'm really using the word "and" here really heavily. So to continue my story, on May 2nd, I finally went to my country house, which has been kind of a dream of mine forever because it's an amazing destination. I love going there, but the problem was it was really freaking cold in Kiev, and I always had a lot of homework and a lot of stuff to do, so I never really got to actually go in there. But this day it was from beginning to end dedicated to rest and being out in nature, and I really loved that idea. A very brief introduction to what stoicism is. It is an ancient philosophy, and its main idea is not to get overly excited or unexcited by events in your life. And the way I see it's kind of detaching from reality and really observing every event, every thought, anything that occurs inside your head or around you, and really seeing the value of the event, but not letting it really get to your heart and change your moods or discourage you to do something or excite you too much because, well, if you don't let something discourage you, but... And the particular idea and video that got me very interested in this idea once again is the video on the channel of The Daily Stoic, curated by Ryan Holiday. And this video is where he was talking about the idea, the phrase, I would say, memento mori, which literally translates from Latin to remember you will die. And that video began with a 3-minute introduction of a kind, and it was basically Ryan saying memento mori, remember you will die, and assigning it to different situations and examples of why you should use that phrase and how it's going to influence your life. And that repetition, it struck me so much that it really got to my heart, even though that's kind of the opposite of what stoicism is. But you get the gist. Really influenced me. And so I was going to my country house all inspired and feeling like I'm full of life, which really never happened, to be very honest with you. And let me tell you, that was one of the best days in my life. And let me tell you that was one of the brightest day of my whole 2020. Actually, no, but yeah, it was amazing still. And this whole story can be linked to something quite valuable that I learned from a Coursera course by Laurie Santos, who is a Yale professor. And the course is called The Science of Wellbeing, the name of which is quite self-explanatory. And there she covered the idea of savoring, which basically means stepping out of an experience to really feel and comprehend how valuable it is, and how much enjoyment you can grasp from it. And not to brag, but it feels like May 2nd was actually a collection of me savoring life, and it was just an amazing connection with nature, and for once I wasn't mad at everything and everyone around me, and honestly it felt like a dream. So the conclusion of the subpart of the episode would be that life is really there for you to enjoy it, and joy is within you. Now, moving on to the second part, on May 10th, which is yesterday, I was feeling really, really low. Imagine the opposite of May 2nd is my May 10th. On the day prior to that, so May 9th, I felt kind of sluggish, and I wasn't actually planning to do much, especially with the fact that I woke up late, which kind of for me always meant that the day has failed. Please don't do that. Don't believe that. And so I procrastinated my way to to about 2 p.m., 3 p.m. when I got a call and I was told that I can go to my country house once again. So there I am, going there, and don't get me wrong, it was amazing again. I spent time with my whole family. We had non-stop discussions about stuff I'm interested in, and that was really amazing. And at the end of the day, I was hoping that the next morning I wake up, I'm gonna be all refreshed and ready to work, and I'm gonna complete all the assignments that I have. But little did I know that I'm gonna wake up in a terrible mood and really gonna suffer my way through the day without being able to do anything about it. At some point during May 10th, I actually made a decision to make this day a rest day, but really what rest means for me, at least what it has always meant, is kind of sneaking in work and trying to manipulate my mind into doing it and tricking my mind into thinking that this is rest, not work. So I would do some Coursera courses or write my English assignment because, I enjoy English, and I would kind of secretly assign that to rest because I enjoy it. But actually that is quite hard work, doing assignments for English literature. So you get the gist. My ideas of work and rest are really messed up. And after spending that day listening to smart people online, I really figured out the principle that I really want to be following from this time on. And this is that rest doesn't equal suffering. Because let's face it, when many of us think of rest, we firstly think about the things that we're going to miss out and the things that we're not going to be able to complete during the time we're resting. But really, rest is it is indeed taking time from your life, but it is giving you much more time and energy and productivity in the future so that you can power through all your work. So really, rest does only good and no harm. So this means that suffering your way through rest isn't the way to go, and you're not going to enjoy nor rest, neither work. So the best advice here is to really just forget about all of your responsibilities and take a rest. And something in my past that I can link it to is I remember when I decided to make up a rule of having at least one day off of work every week, back when we didn't have online school. And my roommates pointed out that she low-key envies people who can sense that it's just not the day that they're able to work because they're so mentally and physically drained that they cannot produce anything more or even input any more information into their minds. And this is really about training yourself to feel the sensations of your body and the signs that are given to you that actually signal that you should really take a break at this point in time. So now the time to wrap all the things up has come, and I'm going to try and reflect on this briefly so that you extract valuable lessons from this. In short, I would say that according to the quote that the more you know, the more you want to know, our life, at least my life, has at some point become this constant chase of more, better, stronger, and the word rest has kind of really disappeared from it. But the truth is that we have to create this blank space in our days, weeks, months, and years to just regain energy and give time to all of that small mechanisms in your mind to put stuff together and figure out ways that it's going to be operating in the future. And the big lesson that we can all learn from this is that the next time you don't feel like doing anything, just please accept it, have a rest, and move on when you have more energy. Thank you for sticking with me all the way through this podcast. I really hope you have enjoyed it. You can check the bio to find ways to reach out to me, and I hope you will be returning to this place to hear more from me next time. See ya!